What's up, guys? It's Bree, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm doing a questions and expectations for the show School Spirits. Have you heard about it? Are you all caught up? Well, go watch season 1 and 2 and then meet me back here because I got a lot to ask.
Alright, they asking for the queen. I'm a bad bitch, she's a savage. Look back while I twerk. No comparison.
So to give a little background, what is School Spirits if you've never heard of it before? It started out on Paramount Plus, a Paramount Plus original. It is currently also on Netflix. Season 1 is at least. Season 2 just wrapped up on Paramount Plus, and that is what led me to want to ask some questions and have some expectations because the way that they wrapped up season 2, season 3 seems like it's gonna go in a completely different direction. So let me just give you some background about what the show is actually about, and then we'll dive into some questions. This show, Maddie is a teen girl stuck in the afterlife, investigating her own mysterious disappearance. She goes on a crime-solving journey as she adjusts to school in the afterlife, but the closer she gets to the truth, the more secrets and lies she discovers. So with this show, what really intrigued me about it is everybody wants to know, how did this girl die? Where is she going? Where is she from? And only one person can see and speak to her, which is just interesting. And when you watch season 1, I feel like what really stood out to me is the fact that you cannot figure out what happened. Like, no matter how good you are about like piecing together puzzles and solving a show before it's over, that's my problem. I can always figure out what happened. This show, you will not, because you cannot, because you just won't. So I think that's one of the best things about it is there are a bunch of clues always, unfolding. And the way that everything kind of wrapped up with season 1, it made you crave season 2. And season 2 really wrapped up very, very nicely, which is why I'm kind of interested to see what season 3 will even be about. Because at this point, we're going into a whole new mystery. So let's just go ahead and get into my questions. Season 1 of School Spirits really laid out the foundation of the mystery, right? They really had you asking questions, pondering, and really left a lot to be discovered. However, in season 2, a lot of those questions were pretty much answered, and for the most part, that initial mystery has been closed, and we're basically about to start a whole new mystery. However, there's some things that weren't answered fully and some things that we just never really touched on at all. So my first question was, can Maddie see the spirits now? After everything that's happened, since she kind of lived in that world, even though she wasn't technically dead, will she have the ability to connect with them in that way? Two, will or does Maddie pay a tribute to Wally in the future? Like, will she go to any of the football games? She never really did that before. Will she visit his mom, especially now that she kind of has more of a connection with him and he pointed her out to Maddie when they were at the football game? Will she create a mural or a vigil for him, either at the school or on her own? And will she visit his grave? That's something that a lover, a scorned, not scorned, because they didn't leave on any bad terms, but it's like she is one of his loves who now still walks the earth. Like, will she be able to pay tribute to him? What happened to Mr. Anderson? He had the same fate as Maddie, where a ghost took over his body. And when that happened, he had the incident with the friends at the cabin. They knocked him over the head with the oar. He was in the water. He was really banged up pretty bad. Even when they put Mr. Anderson back inside of his actual body and kicked Mr. Martin out, they basically kicked him off of the stage while he was tied to a chair. He is pretty banged up. Like, is he okay? Is his head okay? And then besides that, what is he gonna do for work? He had that whole thing come out with the school and the money and the fundraising, and he got fired. I think he lost his teaching license. What is he doing for work? And then same with Maddie. Can he see the ghost now that he had this whole experience? Like, because they have that connection, will they be able to see them? I wonder if that's going to be a thing. Hmm. Did the main ghost talk to the other ghosts about what happened? So when I talk about the main ghost, I'm talking about the main ghost friend group, and that is Wally, Charlie, Rhonda, and then the offshoots of Quinn and Johan. Is that his name? You know who I'm talking about. you know, there's other ghosts besides them, who are at the school, the same ones who are just doing the same thing over and over and over again. Are they going to tell them, like, what's been going on, what's been happening? Because all of these ghosts were never really a part of the whole group and, therapy sessions. Like, they weren't always playing along with them. But now that everything has happened, now that Janet has come back, will they let everybody know what's been going on and let them know, like, hey, guys, there's a way out of here, i.e., do you guys want to cross over? Because we know how to help y'all, you know? Because, Janet, she said she wasn't ready to cross over because she wanted these answers. But I think that's just the scientist in her. Who knows? Because if they had the opportunity to cross over, wouldn't they want to? Hmm. Are there any other ghosts that we haven't met yet? So, in the first season, we kind of meet a good amount of the ghosts, the ones who participate in the group, and even the ones who don't. But we kind of get to know more of them in season two, including like Quinn. She was a part of the band. We met the band, but now we met her as an individual, as well as Johan in the pottery room. But are there ghosts that we still don't know about, that we haven't met yet? I'm wondering. And to me, I feel like there has to be. And even if we haven't met them, as far as like we've never seen them before, we may have seen them, but now they're probably going to be integrated into the main group. I'm interested to see about that. And to be honest, I mean, I would hate to see some black ghosts, but also, where the black ghosts at? Where the black ones? Because you realize the only black person on this show is Claire. And I love my light skinned sister, sister to sister, but we ain't got no dark skinned people on this show. What's up with that? Interesting. Why was this? Honestly, pause. This is the main question that I feel like everybody wants to know. A lot of the ghosts asked this several times. Why is Simon the only person to be able to see Maddie when she was a spirit? I'm talking about. This is the one thing that there has been no Easter eggs, there has been no hints, nothing as to far as to see like why they are as connected as they are. Because yes, they're best friends, but there's no indication that they have something special going on or that he has any psychic abilities or anything like that to even speak to ghosts. Because mind you, she's the only person that he can see and talk to. He can't see or hear any of the other ghosts. No other friends can. And even Xavier, when he was in the hospital and he was close to death, he saw the ghost there, obviously, when his spirit left his body, I'm guessing. But when he went to the school, he still never saw any of the ghosts or experienced any of the ghosts, even though his third eye seemingly was opened. What is that about? And well, we'll get there, but that's a mystery that I want them to solve, want them to explore, because that is, to me, one of the real mysteries of this whole thing, because I feel like that may open up another can of worms. And to be honest, this may honestly be connected to the greater mystery of the school itself. Hmm. I don't know if this is a question per se. I feel like this is more of a topic that has questions that have off shot from it. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but Simon's parents, does he have any? They don't seem to ask about him or care where he is, like Nicole's mom, helicopter parent, texting her, calling her, all that stuff. Maddie's mom, even though she's very much a mess, we see her. We know what's going on. She talks about her. Simon never mentions his parents, never mentions his home, never talks about anything pertaining to them. Even when he was planning his life, I don't recall him ever mentioning anything about, oh, my parents want me to go to this school, or they're proud of me for doing this, or anything. And mind you, when Maddie first left, disappeared, whatever you want to call it, he really took a downward spiral. He essentially was depressed. He was acting out, showing out his grade slips to the point where he was getting in trouble at school. He tanked his interview with Northwestern, and he basically, I'm pretty sure, got suspended almost from school. And were parents ever notified? Did anybody ever talk to them, tell them what's going on? Anything? You know what I'm saying? Something is going on there. And I feel like the fact that there was no hint mentioned anything about it, the fact that he had so much free reign to explore this stuff with Maddie, to solve this mystery, to basically break, I don't know if I would say break laws, because I can't think of anything in particular that was a law he broke per se, but he was doing a lot to the point where parents should have been notified. Oh, even Claire's parents. I mean, her mom has some issues with men being the focal point of her life, and Xavier's dad is chief of police, but Simon's the only person whose parents have never mentioned, talked about, nothing, not even asked about. So what's going on there? Could that be a reason why he also has this gift to talk to Matt? Like, so much of these so much of these things I feel like tie together in a way that I'm hoping is answered in the next season, because at this point, these are the few things that we haven't talked about. What is Simon doing in Mr. Martin's scar? Ending of the last episode to the last season. Janet and the main group of ghosts, they go to see Mr. Martin in the scar. Mr. Martin is there. They're ready to ask him questions. He's like, I have a question first. Well, what is he doing here? Pan over, there's Simon. Where's Maddie? How don't you know that Maddie's not there? Better yet, how did you get in there? Did Wally cross over? Do you remember in the last episode, that was something we saw? A door opens on the field with a white light. He seemed to go to it. Did he actually, or did he not? Because there's nothing really holding him back there anymore. He might as well leave. And lastly, will Maddie tell her mom and the other adults what happened? And will they believe her? Will her mom believe her? I feel like she has enough evidence as far as her being in the school, knowing things that she really shouldn't know because she wasn't there. And you remember her mom felt like when she quote unquote came back that it wasn't her. Xavier told his dad, about the ghosts, and he didn't know if he believed him or not. But then when he spoke to Maddie's mom, he felt like, I don't know, maybe. And with Mr. Anderson coming back, I don't know. I feel like even though they're skeptical, they have enough people backing it up. It might be true. Or maybe she'll be a crazy teen and just keep it to herself. But as of the recording of this video, there has still not been an announcement whether or not we're going to get a season 3. In my opinion, I think we are, just because the way this ended, they gotta give us a season 3, at least give us a closer. But I also believe that the show has gained popularity. After season 1 was released to Netflix, it obviously got more eyes and a lot more people are talking about it. With season 2, a lot more stuff has been revealed, a lot of loose ends have been tied up, and once season 2 goes to Netflix as well, everybody's going to be wanting to know what's happening next, what's going to happen next. And the way that the show is kind of put out, they always leave some cliffhangers, leave some stuff to have people guessing and wanting more. So, as far as my expectations, I'm going to kind of group everything by like categories so that way we kind of know what we're talking about when we're talking about it. So, let's start out with the ghosts. So, with the ghosts, number 1, we'll add new ghosts to the group. And you know what I mean, the group, I mean the main group. Like, we're gonna have the people who we're talking to. And one of my offshoots of that is that Quinn will help her bandmates. Quinn is very much like the person who everybody needed. She is very much like a glue. She's been helping Rhonda a lot with like being more comfortable opening up, and I just love that the two of them have become fast besties. And I think she will help her other bandmates, um get out of their routine of just practicing this band routine till all of eternity. And to be honest, isn't there a black girl in the band? What I say? We need some black people. That would be great. Janet's anger for Mr. Martin will drive her to torture him by keeping him locked up in his scar. In the same way that even though she voluntarily went into her scar for their little experiment, it basically turned into her being tortured. I think her anger for that situation and then her also wanting to know what's this evilness is that he is so afraid of, all of that combined will have her mixing her personal gripe with him to mix with like trying to just get answers from him, and of course he's not going to say anything. But on top of that, I feel like an offshoot of that is that the danger that Mr. Martin was protecting them from, quote unquote, is revealed. And these are some of my thoughts about what that could be. Number one is that the evil is just another powerful ghost that they just don't know about. Well, that we don't know about. And I guess that they don't know about altogether. Number two, it could just be the devil or a demon because school is hell. Everybody says that. They're always like, they look like prisons and all that kind of stuff. And it just has a lot of like like a negative energy, except for like maybe elementary schools. Besides those, almost all schools always have just like this negative energy or connotation to them. So that may be a thing. And number three, there is no danger. Because I thought about this. Mr. Martin is the only ghost there that has actually caused the death of another. So he may not have a white light waiting for him. So he may be thinking, oh my God, you don't know what I'm protecting you from. There's evil here, da 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 da. But it's like, no, the evil is here for you because you're the only murderer. Everybody else was killed. You are the only person who died as a result of trying to kill somebody else. Hmm. This one is part of my question, but also an expectation. I do fully believe that Wally will cross over if he hasn't already. And there's just two things. Either he will cross over because Maddie left, and that's kind of like the last thing that he was holding on to, but also that Maddie will tell him to leave. I am curious to see if she actually will be able to physically see and speak to them since she had that connection of being in that place. Um, but even if she doesn't, I feel like she may go to the school, maybe, like I said, have a mural for him or a visual or just like give some kind of oath to him. And even if they're not speaking like face to face, like she can't see him, but obviously he can see her, she'll tell him to cross over and he will. And to be honest, I think he earned it. I think it's time. Um, Let's see. Rhonda will open up more with Quinn's help, of course. Like I said, Quinn is that glue. She has really helped Rhonda, and I feel like that's another thing that will help Rhonda be able to cross over is being able to be open and expressive and say how she feels about certain things. Say what happened to her. Say how what happened to her made her feel. Um how just opening up will help her to relax, relate, and release all of that negativity that has her so wound up. I think that's all. Because to be honest, Charlie, I didn't have anything expectation from him. I don't know what Charlie would have to do to cross over, except for just going to his light. Because yeah, I mean, he didn't have anything like to overcome per se. He's just a gay ghost. And being with Johan now, he's been able to kind of have been able to like express those feelings outwardly, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Let's go over to the human friend group. And we're going to start out with our man Simon. Simon can see and speak to all the ghosts. And I think that's because, like we left him, he's inside of the scar. How is he inside of the scar? It's one thing to see and talk to Maddie. He hadn't even been able to see and talk to the other ghosts. But now that he's in the scar, he can see and talk to the other ghosts. And he's in the scar. Is he a human in there, or is he passed out somewhere? You know what happened? And with him being so depressed and hopeless and all that kind of stuff, is that why this is happening? Mm, who knows? But I feel like we learn why he was able to speak to Maddie when she was a ghost. Like I said, he's super depressed, he's hopeless, possibly even dead inside. Things are gonna be weird with him and Maddie. You know, it's gonna be some resentment, like they aren't as close anymore. He is jealous of Wally. And does he like her? I came across a promotional post from the School Spirits like account, like on Paramount, and it was this whole thing about like couple names between Wally and Maddie, Maddie and Simon, and Maddie and Xavier. To be honest, Maddie and Xavier, I'm so over that. I never liked that, to be honest. I'm so glad that was never a thing. Maddie and Simon, I never got any kind of flirty romance vibes there. So I was confused by that. But there are times throughout the seasons where, Simon is like, are you staying here for him? Is it because of Wally? And it's like, hold on. Are you jealous of Wally? Do you like her? And I don't think he does, but there's something there. So that's something that might be explored. And to be honest, don't force that on us. I do not want to see Maddie and Simon in a romantic relationship. No, because no. But I do think he is jealous of Wally. Probably not as much anymore, or especially if Wally's able to cross over, but he was at that time. So that might be explored. And he'll focus on college, probably change his major to something like with science or paranormal. I think he was originally going to go for like filmmaking, and that still may be a thing, but I feel like regardless the focus will be on the paranormal, because this incident, this stuff really impacted him and everybody else. Like this was a monumental thing. Xavier, he will talk and share more with his dad. His dad is trying his best. Okay, he's a single father. I don't remember what happened to his mom. I don't know if she, got sick, died, left them. I don't know, but they're going to connect more. And after speaking with Maddie's mom, the sheriff will be more open to the possibility of ghosts. Also, with Maddie back to back him up, um, they may be able to provide more information about the ghost, and maybe he will believe him. I'm hoping. He and Maddie will explore the ghost at the hospital, which include her dad, Nicole. Her mom will have her on a short leash, so she gonna be on punishment for sure, because she had been gone for 2 days or so without really checking in with her or anything like that. And with her mom being a helicopter parent, that is not gonna fly. And because of that, we'll see more of her brother. He will want answers about pretty much everything that happened. Claire told him everything when they left the store going back to the cabin, but how much did she really tell him? And there's still going to be more for sure. And because Nicole will be on punishment as much, he will be her representative within the group when they do tasks, especially when they start exploring the stuff with the hospital, and also with Simon possibly being trapped in the scars. Her and Claire will grow closer as friends and become like sisters. Claire will encourage her to pursue something with Xavier, romantic or platonic. The two of them grew very, very close when they were talking within that app, not knowing that they were talking to each other. So there's definitely some potential for something there. Now, mind you, Claire went on dates with him, Maddie went on dates with him. I don't think either of those girls want to be with him romantically, so it's fine. But they should definitely explore something there. Claire. Claire will gain her independence. She'll either get a job or access to some income. She'll grow closer to Nicole, as I said, by living together for a while. And she will help Nicole, but then also she's going to start to think about her future after high school. And she's going to spend more time with Diego, that's Nicole's brother. Nicole, while Nicole's on punishment, like I said, he's gonna be her representative within the group. And with doing that, that may be a way for her to gain independence or help her toward her yearning for independence. She will speak to her mom again, but the relationship will remain rocky. I still don't think she's gonna move home per se, but her mom will have a better relationship, and we'll get a little bit more information on that, possibly even meeting her mom. And for the last of us, it is Maddie. She will forgive her mom. And I think she already has, but she's going to tell her that, she forgives her. She's going to talk to her about everything that happened. And she's going to prove it by talking about times where her mom was at that school, like when she was at Wally's class reunion, when she came to the school to get her homework, etc., etc. She tries to mend her friendship with Simon. Like I said, there's some stuff going on with the two of them, especially when she almost chose to not come back to her body. So there's a lot of stuff there. He holds resentment toward her because he seems to be living his life for her. As far as college, they're going to the same college. Did Simon want to go there on his own, or did he only want to follow Maddie? With their interests about horror movies and, filmmaking and this and this and this. Do you like that stuff, or do you like it because Maddie likes it? And then all this time that she was gone, everything he did was helping her, solving these things and this, to the point where he tanked his college interview for her. And she was screaming for him not to, but he was just so depressed because she was presumed to be dead, could have been gone. There was a lot going on in that situation. Her and Xavier will explore the ghosts in the hospital, which include her dad, like I said, and she might be able to get information about that from speaking with her mom, as well as finding out more about what's happening at the school. And the school and the hospital could be related in that way. She visits Wally's mom. This one I'm curious about, and I'm not sure how that will go. I don't know if she'll probably go to her house or maybe at one of the football games, like the homecoming game, because his mom goes to them every year. They may meet there. That's something I'm interested in, because how is she supposed to explain to this woman that I met your son, or, that I really enjoyed him, or I met him when he died before she was even thought of? You know what I'm saying? So that's something I'm curious about. Can she see and talk to the spirits? I think so, because when Xavier came back to the hospital to visit Maddie, he could see the ghosts. I don't know if he could see all of them, but he definitely saw Maddie's dad. So if she goes back to the school, I do feel like she will be able to see and speak to the ghosts. And if so, can she help solve the mystery of the school? And I think yes. Similar to the way that her friends in real life were able to help her via talking to Simon and then relaying the information back, same thing will happen here, except because she has firsthand knowledge about things that they were interested in or wanted to know, she will be able to help them more, if that makes sense. All in all, School Spirits is such a good show, y'all. When I say it's a good show, it's a good show, because this is a mystery show, which is one of my favorites, but it's something that you won't figure it out before the show is over, which I thoroughly enjoy. I'm able to work the mystery out each episode, and each episode it has my mind racing and thinking, oh my God, how can be this? And what is they gonna do next? And what is happening? And this, and blah, blah, blah. I very much enjoy that. Another aspect about this show that I think really tops it off is the generations. There's a bunch of generations in here because most of these ghosts died in different decades. And, the way that society kind of works, we don't use the same slang. Things that were acceptable at one time are no longer acceptable now. And I think because of that, that is why it took for a girl like Maddie to kind of come into these ghosts. I don't want to say lives because they're not alive, but you know what I mean. And be able to kind of help them through these things with Charlie, with Wally, with Rhonda, even though she wasn't able to really crack her the way that Quinn has, she was able to really kind of help her feel comfortable in doing so, even to the point where she was able to help Dawn cross over just by showing her some kindness. All those things I really enjoy because you really see how far we have come as a society. And I think because of that, that will alleviate and kind of help solve these other mysteries that we have going on. So, check out School Spirits, currently on Netflix as well as Paramount Plus, season 1 and 2. If you have been watching and you have some questions that I haven't asked, please put them down below. I would love to discuss. And if you have some answers to my questions, put those down below too. I want to have a discussion about this because I feel like this is a show that we can talk about in a million different ways. And I cannot wait to chit chat with you guys. So don't forget to tell a friend, to tell an enemy, to tell a stranger to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on my social media platforms. They are on the screen as well as down below. And okay, question, comment, like, comment. Oh, I think that is all, y'all. All right, guys, bye.
Look back while I twerk. No comparison.
I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty, yeah. Acting stupid, what's happening?